Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to let you know that I have posted a video of me doing an unboxing of the Everyday Rocks box set from BMG and Uriah Heep, the first 7 albums and 7 t-shirts to go along with it, plus some other cool things. The link will be in the show notes. You can also go to the website, scotthaskin.com/Uriah Heep podcast, and you will see there a link right under the picture of the box set. And you could also just go to my YouTube channel. Either way is fine, but the link will be in the show notes if you'd like to check that out. I can tell you it is a spectacular package. Never seen anything like it. Quantities are going to be limited, so if you haven't gotten yours and you want to grab one, get your order in. Now, I can tell you that you can order it right from the Uriah Heep website. I also have a link in the show notes where you can just click and go right there. So we tried to make it as easy as we can for you here on the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Without further ado, let's hear it, Mick. Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin. In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing. Hello and welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I am your host, Scott Haskin, and I have a song for you today. I pretty much do every day, don't I? This one is called Blood Red Roses, and very interestingly, we have 2 versions, and one is the regular album version, the other is the extended version, so we're going to see if we can hear what the difference is between those two. It's not... it's not a different version or an alternate version, just an extended version, or perhaps the original recording before it was chopped down to the album version. But in any case, what's interesting about this song is that it was actually written by Peter Golby. And according to the official Uriah Heep website, where things are official, it says this song was written by ex-vocalist Peter Golby, especially for this album. So I'm guessing the split between Peter Golby and Uriah Heep must have been amicable, or there must have been some, still good relationship or ties somehow to where he would have offered a song to the band for this album. Maybe it was something that was already in the works, planning on, him being on the next album. I'm not sure. But in any case, I find it very interesting that he wrote it and they did it, that they put it on the album. So I say that we just jump right into the first version. This is the official album release of Blood Red Roses by Uriah Heep on Raging Silence. Oh, I'm loving this right off the bat. It's got a great melody. It sounds nice and strong. I think that was a tambourine maybe that we heard at the very end of that clip. But I can't tell at this point whether the guitars are in the center or whether there's 2 tracks left and right. Hopefully I'll be able to determine that as it goes on. The snare is a little bit to my right. The bass drum is a little bit to my left. So there is a little bit of separation here, but it's a nice, powerful intro. It's a beautiful melody. Sounds really strong. Very interested to see where this goes. Wow, beautifully strong vocals. And, the thing about Bernie that I've noticed is that he's, in a way, very much in the same vein as Peter Golby. He just sings with that power all the time. He even when he dials it down, you feel that there's some power in it. And I really like that. Such a great rock voice. And he fits right in, really picked up where Peter left off in the band. I think he's singing this song very well. I could hear Peter, if he was singing this song, just having that same sort of power, very similar in that way, both singers. But so we've got a guitar is a little bit in the left side, and we've got some keyboards over in the right. Really love the melody. It's not overpowering, as keyboards in this band have tended to be mixed from time to time. Everything is just blending very, very nicely, I have to say. There's still right. Well, I really like that change in parts there before the chorus. However, the guitars were a little bit overpowering over the vocals. Also, I heard them in my right ear. So there is a second guitar track, as I had originally suspected. But overall, it sounds really good. The vocals are of an EQ that allows them to cut through a little bit more, even though, everything again is panned a little bit more towards the center. But like I said, when we reviewed Hold Your Head Up, it's not just about the panning, it's about the frequency, right? So they can EQ things to stand out a little bit differently. They can also use reverbs to put things a little more forward or a little more in the distance and control things that way. So there's a lot of options. Overall, it sounds pretty good, but that one guitar was a little bit overpowering. But I love the way that the backing vocals sound with Bernie's voice. Phil's sounding great on keyboards, playing very nicely. Again, not overpowering the mix, just setting in there very nicely. So the whole song sounds really rich and full. I can't say what it is, but I definitely feel like Lee Kerslake has found another gear on this album. His playing is a little bit different. He just sounds and feels different than what we've heard before. I like it. I think it's good stuff. It's just, kind of a surprise, especially for a drummer to change their style a little bit on an album. But, he could have picked up any kind of tip or trick or saw somebody or just, practice his ass off at some point. But it really sounds good. I really like what I'm hearing. And what a passionate vocal from Bernie. Just fantastic. This is the kind of stuff that I really love. Yeah, I really like that part. But again, why is the guitar so much in our face? It just seems a little bit excessive. I think it would be just a little more enjoyable if it were blended a bit better. But you can't drown out that performance from Bernie. I mean, it's just fantastic. There's so much power and passion in his voice in this song. I really, really love what I'm hearing. Nice little fill-in from Mick right there. I love those little bits and bobs that we hear from him from time to time. Sometimes whoever the keyboardist is in the band will throw in a little something here and there. But overall, this is really nicely blended. Phil's keeping things very strong on the keyboard side, just really making the song sound huge. And that makes such a big difference. The keyboardist can play what they play, but he's really balanced in the mix here. And that's equally as important to me. Because if he's playing something great and it's too quiet, it really doesn't matter, does it? But no, he sounds really good. I love the tones that he's using here. Not really specifically hearing a lot of bass. I think that might be getting a little bit buried, but I'm really loving what I hear. Oh, what a great ending to that solo. I really like that. So what I'm hearing now, I'm hearing the guitar in basically the center, just slightly off center. And then in the left ear, I'm hearing the rhythm guitar track. And in the right ear, I'm hearing more of the keyboards, but I'm also hearing a subtle accent guitar track there, which is just highlighting a couple of points to just make those parts specifically a little bit thicker. Not so much where you just kind of hear it coming in and then when it's gone, it feels empty. It's very subtle. it's there, but it's not something that just draws your attention. You feel it more than you hear it. And very nicely blended, though. And even where you hear the guitar, the tones are phenomenal here. I don't know if he double tracked that or exactly what he did to make that solo sound the way that it did, but I really like the tonality of it as well as the performance. Now, this is just a beautiful interplay here that I'm noticing between Phil on keyboards and Mick on guitar. There's parts where Mick comes forward and shines a little bit, doing those fill-ins I was talking about. Then there's parts where Phil comes in and highlights some stuff with the keyboards. Really beautiful balance. They're not working against each other at all. They play a little bit on top of each other, but just in the transition, and then the other one comes through and shines. I really like that kind of playing. Very, very typical of what I would expect from Uriah Heep. Even with the lineup changes, there's certain things that are kind of, stock to a band. And Heap's always been good at that. Since Ken left and it became a less keyboard dominated band, we've got a lot more of guitar, and then the keyboards will come in and shine when it's their time to shine. But it's really nice. I really like the balance between the two. I think it's very respectful of each other, very well crafted. And as just a listener, aside from being a musician and appreciating the technical side of it, just as a listener, I really love that blend. Yeah, lots of nice layers there. Really just a huge sounding song, right? Different things that are going on guitar. Love what Mick's playing in the solo arena during this section. Able to hear actually now what the bass is doing, and the bass is being very active, typical up and down the scale Uriah Heep style bass playing. Very, very good work. There's so many dynamics going on in the song. As a casual listener, you might not really appreciate all of the layers, but when you really dig in and start focusing on different instruments at different times, and it really just brings out the true talent and level of songwriting here. We said Peter Golby wrote the song, but I don't know, does that mean that he just wrote the lyrics? Did he write the lyrics and the melody? Did he write the whole song? I kind of think that no matter what, the actual performers are putting their own spin on different things. And I think he probably wrote the lyrics in the basic song, like, here's the lyrics, here's kind of how it goes. And then the band took it from there and said, okay, well, here's how we're going to perform it. That would make a lot of sense to me. I don't know statistically or factually if that happened, but I would say that most likely that would be the case. But it's a great song, very powerful, really emotional, killer vocals, just a great way to follow up the album opener. So we're 2 for 2 on this one, guys. Now, let's dig into the extended version. I'm going to pluck out the parts that are different and play those for you guys as I did on the Hold Your Head Up episode on the last show. And hopefully that's working, because it seems like that's the best way for me to find the differences between the two. So what I do, for those of you that are curious, and for those of you that are not, I'm going to say it anyway. I basically import both files into my workstation, and I look visually for the differences in the waveforms. Now, that gets really challenging the way that this is done, because even though it isn't maxed to the edge of sanity here, the volume, it is brick walled as far as the general mix goes. So when I look at it, it basically almost looks like a solid brick with little subtle differences. So I really have to go into a large view. So when that doesn't work, what I start doing is I just start listening to the clips. I exchange them back and forth to see where the change occurs. And then I'll clip it and I'll go, okay, so here's where it comes back together. Here's what's different. And then just clip out those pieces and then add them into the show. So it's a little bit cumbersome to do it that way, but I don't have any real other way to find all the points where the song is different. And sometimes, again, it's just things that are repeated, things that were, maybe they went on a little longer and then they chopped it down for the album version. But either way, I want to find as many of those things as I can to share with you guys. So anyway, little podcast insider info. In case you guys want to do a show like this, that's my method. Now let's get into it. Here is the extended version of Blood Red Roses. So basically, it's the intro just a little bit longer. It's got another pass going on to it, but I really wanted to play that whole passage because the mix is a little bit different. I think the keyboards are cutting through a little bit better and the bass as well. So it gives you a chance to hear the full scope of what's going on in the song. And if you listen back to that, I mean, seriously, there's just such beautiful musicianship going on here and very, very good playing by everyone, but also together. You know, they sound very much together. But this is just a great song for the era, too. Thinking about the time that this was released, it just sounds like it really fits into that time. The only difference would be, I think the snare sounds better than a lot of the processed snares that we would hear back at that time, but really cool. The other difference between the two is the ending. I'm just going to go ahead and let that whole thing play through. Because I really think it's worth just focusing on the musicianship here, the layers that we're hearing, you know, maybe each pass pick a different instrument to listen to, because there is some really good stuff going on here. I mean, this is just a great performance by a great band.
Just
Well, I can't say enough good things about this song. I think it's very powerful. I would have loved to have heard a version of Peter Golby singing this. I think his voice would have suited it very well. I thought that was pretty cool that he wrote it for the band and said, you know what, you guys take this. Again, don't know what the circumstances were, but I would say this is a fantastic song and really goes to show the quality of just the musicianship, like I said, in the band. I can't say who can be credited for what because I don't know, who did what. I don't know how much Peter wrote versus what Uriah Heep took and said, okay, we're gonna take your song and we'll do a version of it. Really don't know where the creativity came from or how much from what parties. So I'll just say overall, great song, great writing, great performance. Definitely one that I will listen to many times down the road. So that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed this song, both versions of as much as I did. I think it's a great one and a great one for the band and for us as, fans. Great song to listen to. You guys have a great day. Do something great for yourself and do something great for somebody else. Cheers. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magicians Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show. And thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!